Hello everyone, Alex the RC Freak here, coming at you with a video on the 2.2 how to install to get the most ground clearance out of your suspension that you can with the TRX4 without doing custom diff lock cables. So here's the truck so far. I do not have the front tires mounted on the rims, or wheels and tires mounted together, so I have yet to do that, so that's why it's naked up front. But this is just to show you. There's the ones on the back mounted. I love those wheels. I like chrome. Me, myself, I think wheels only look good in chrome. Or mostly look good in chrome. Most wheels, I think, should be chrome, in my opinion. But anyway, whatever. So, here's the truck. 72 Chevy long bed body. It's a Proline body for the team associated Monster GT. It's made to fit that truck. So, just so you know, any of those 8 scale, for as long as it says Monster GT on it, you will not have to put the shock tower relocation brace in there that comes with the kit brand new. So just remember that. If you don't want to do that, like I don't want to do that, it makes your wheelbase shorter just by a little bit. So I don't want to do that, and you have to make different links and stuff. They don't tell you that, but whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to run this body. The tires will rub a little bit. I can cut this. I can loosen these 2 screws right here. Loosen these 2. Move this over. Just push this over just a little bit to like right there, and I'll get a little bit more ground clearance. But I'm not going to do that. Oh, sorry. The camera wasn't lined up. I apologize. I can move these 2 screws right here, and then move this over, like it's probably right about there, so it's at an angle like that, and get a little bit more ground clearance for these tires. But, under high articulation, they're gonna rub. It's just, these are big fatty tires, they're wider, they look awesome on there, they look beast with those rims. I like the look of it. I think it looks really awesome. I had to raise up the body. I do got the Slash 2-wheel drive body posts on here. I just used the post only, so I didn't use any of the shock mounts or whatever, because as of right now, Proline does not make a body post kit for this. So, but these will work. They're not, see how there's a little bit of a gap? They don't wiggle around too much, but yeah, there's a little bit of a gap, but it's not a problem. Using the factory screw in there. Using that factory screw right there. So I didn't use like a 3mm screw, which you can. And so a couple things on doing this. You got to get the longer shock rod ends right here. These are 440 thread Dubro, is the brand that makes these heavy duty ones. I got a pack of 12. You only need 4. And you got to thread these little thicker steel washers. And then you got to thread this inner ball end on the inside of that. You got to thread it. So that little inner ball. And so, just so you know, and use a 3mm metric thread tap to do that. These links, you're going to have to adjust them on one side on the steering drag link. 4 turns out. And then on this other steering link, it's kind of a bad picture, this one right here, because this angle is going to be so tight because it's too short, you're going to have to adjust that 4 turns out also. So, and it still has a factory look. I'm running the Mamba X 3800 kV setup. I got an Axle flat battery tray. It's from the Axle Scorpion. So I'm going to try to do some custom bracketry, and let me know in the comments if you guys want me to make a video of that. And I'm just going to lay it across here. I'm going to have it sitting like that. Like just laying across there like that. So flat across here so the battery will sit. But another thing, you probably noticed I cut this. You do not need to cut it this far back, just so you know. You just need to trim a little bit, just a tiny little bit off this. I trimmed mine back a lot more just cause. Just in case, really. So, you don't need to though. I didn't sit the tire on there and flex it and then kind of do it. I just kind of did it freehand without even sticking the tire on there and squishing it down. So, whatever. It don't bug me. It's not like it's going to get used much. I'm not using the, fender flares. Me, myself, the Land Rover body is a nice looking body, like how bone stock right out of the box is very detailed. but I think Land Rover Defender body, this is the shape of the body at all, is butt ass ugly. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I know you people are, some people may be Land Rover lovers with the body, you know, just love that body and love that look, but I think that body's god ugly. But so I put a better body on there, 72 Chevy. So anyway, on a side note, with the ESC that I'm currently running and the way I currently have it in the truck, you will need to raise these rock slides. You don't have to, but I chose to. So what I did is, I on both of them, of course, I cut out that little notch so I can raise these up flush as I could. So see how there's a little, you know, notch in there? So you see the pretty ESC, but yeah, there's a little notch right there. There's that. See that right in there? There's a little groove in there. Now I'm going to show you. These are 3/16 inside diameter plastic bushings. Now see what I'm doing here? You got the plastic bushing and you got the screw through the center. I got two different length screws. These are 3mm. I think this is 3mm by 16 roughly. And then these are like 3mm by like 20. So metric. So, but these are 3/16 ID, just plastic bushings. I got them from Ace Hardware locally here. Pretty cheap. But what I'm going to do to raise them up is I'm going to stick them like this, right? Okay. I'm going to stick them up like this. I'm going to stick 4 of them. I got 8 of them. It'll take 8 screws. But I'm going to stick this on there. And then see if I can get a better angle. Yeah, but see? Kind of how I have it raised up like that. And you stick the screw through or whatever. So that way you can have it raised up. You know, yeah, these are white and you'll probably notice them, but with the body on, you're not going to see it. I raised these body posts up. You will need to get these set up to where it doesn't really rub at all. Like, hardly at all. I don't even think it would rub. You do need a different body. I don't think you can actually run 2.2 this size Hyrax tire from Proline, these beadlocks with the offset that they are, with the stock body. It just won't work unless it rubs all. It'll rub like crazy with the stock body. So you will need another body. You will not want to run the ender fender liners, is what I call them. So do not run those. If you chuck them, or you don't throw them out, but you know what I mean. But you don't need to run those. Don't run them. Just run it open body like how I'm doing. You can put the flares on there like how I did. You know, I just got a little 2mm nut. Those are 2mm screws, and then 2mm washers. So there's 5 screws in the back, or there's 5 screws in the front, 6 screws in the back. So, and that's kind of what I did. See with the flares, gives it kind of that aggressive, you know, lifted truck look. But yeah, so that's what I would suggest doing. So the tires are going to rub a little bit in the back. Me personally, I ain't that worried about it. It's a rock crawler. Tires are going to rub no matter what, even in stock configuration. So that is what I'm saying. And then on these rock guards, I cut them a little bit. So see how I cut them? Flush with that line, flush with this. So they were sticking out like this other side. See how they're sticking out? I flushed them, kind of cut them at an angle so they kind of match, you know, with my Dremel tool. I tried to make it as clean as I could. Not exactly perfect, but like I say, this is one of those deals that's going to be custom. It's going to be, you're going to have to do some modifications, you know. You're going to have to do a little bit of tweaking on the suspension, on the shocks. And I got, out of total, I probably gained an inch of clearance doing this whole thing. At least an inch. Probably even more. I haven't measured it as of recently. But I probably gained a little bit over an inch out of this whole thing. Which is considerably a lot, in my opinion. Quite a lot. So, that's kind of what's going on. I got to put these front tires together, these beadlocks. That takes some time. I won't post a video of that just because, you know, it takes time. So, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you guys kind of what's going on with my truck. And it's really not that big of a deal to do. It's actually pretty easily to do. And these tires, if you look at it, look pretty cool because they're straight up on there. See how they stick out a little bit like a real lifted truck tire would? I just think that looks neat myself. So I'm gonna run it like that. And this is probably not the best setup if you do like extreme crawling with it. Like if you crawl with this truck to the max of its ability in like super mega heavy rock areas, I don't think it would do super well with these big of a tires. You'd probably have, with this body, I know tires would rub a lot. It don't really bug me. There's nothing to cut the tire. You know, I have all the corners sanded round and all that stuff. But it probably, this tire so big, probably with a body on it, probably couldn't get the best articulation. So just keep that in mind, and I think you'd be all right. This, I might move the rear bumper mount up front now. Might move it up front so it sits higher, and then move this one to the back. So I might do that swap-a-roni. But this is the truck. It's kind of what I got so far. I love it. It's an awesome truck. And I think it works great, especially with this system. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fast. It's going to look great. I may go back here and I might make that sit a little wider. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it, so I'll just put it that way. But I'd like not to. It doesn't bug me if it, you know, rubs a little bit there. It's not the end of the world to me. So I just want to say that. And then these trucks are great. I mean, they really are. I love the TRX4. I think they're an awesome crawling truck. I haven't crawled with these yet. I'm gonna take it out this weekend and crawl it and see what it crawls like, because I think it'll crawl pretty good. And you know, I think it even do pretty dang good, in my honest opinion, on a pretty rocky trail. You know what I mean? Like where you got a decent amount of rocks, I think it'd do pretty good. And crawling's, what I found out, is all about driver skill. It's really on driver skill. And you know, of course, having the right setup always helps. You know, knowing your tuning and your shock setup and your shock oil and properly bleeded. I find a lot of people that bleed shocks with RC cars, you know, they take their sweet little time, or they just, I don't know, they just don't seem like they take their time to really make sure the air bubbles are out. Like, I'll really take the time to make sure it's absolutely perfect, and if it's not, I'll redo it all over again, so, till it is. But, yeah, just keep in mind, I have never had a problem with these shocks leaking, nothing like that. They've always worked smooth. None of the shafts are bent. None of the rod ends ripped away or broke off. You know, the rods on this truck, these links or whatever, are really strong. I really like how they did them. You know, because the axle ones are like hollow aluminum, or, you know, they're just kind of, these, I don't know, it's axle. That's all I gotta say. I'm not saying they make bad rigs. I'm just, I don't know. You gotta do a lot of upgrades to make them awesome, in my opinion. This thing, I don't think you need to do. It does, like, I'm not gonna lie, it does need upgrades. Like, it's way too slow, bone stock, even high gear, for me. You know, and you can still, this is a perfect example, you can still have a rig that's pretty quick. I'm not gonna say it's fast, because I have RCs that'll do 120 easy all day long. But I'm just saying, for a rock crawler, in this class, for a rock crawler, my current setup, it's fast enough, it's slow enough to crawl, it's like 7-8 miles an hour, you know, in low gear, full throttle, and maybe 9 if you're lucky. So it's still slow enough to crawl and get that nice low gear, but it's also, you know, in high gear, fast enough to have some fun, you know, just kind of go quick on the trails. You know, I'm a pretty fast walker, you know, I'm a pretty athletic guy, so I'm a fast walker. You know, I walk at like a slow jogging speed from what everyone tells me. So, but anyway, I'm just trying to say, for me, it's a setup the way I like, and that's what's awesome, is you can make these what you want. If you want to put a different body, and you could cut this way out, like you could round this whole thing way out, you know, a little bit bigger if you didn't want to run these flares, and these tires would work beautifully. Like, it would work awesome. So that's just the, beauty of this hobby, is make it unique to your own. Don't be afraid to try something new. Think outside the box, you know? And that's what I try to do, you know what I mean? And I am not sponsored in any way, not sponsored by anybody. All this stuff I bought, I was out of my own pocket, you know what I mean? I just, like a lot of you people that are watching my videos, you guys buy it with your own hard-earned money. So I'm not like I'm sponsored that I can come up, you know, with new RC stuff every day, you know, because I get it shipped to me for free. No, I don't. I go out and physically buy it myself, you know what I mean? So, and this ran about $160 to do this setup. When I get the front tires on, you know, body's already raised up to where I think it'll work okay for me. It's gonna rub here for me because I won't cut it. As of right now, I won't cut it. I'll just let it rub. When it's maxed out articulation, it'll rub. But it's not like terribly rubbed where it's gonna cause issues. I don't think it's gonna rub for a second and then be done with it. But yeah, it's a great truck. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I will get a 4th video out and of a final setup, and I'll keep you guys informed, and I'll do my absolute best to try to get a crawling video out. I'm definitely gonna crawl it this weekend, just kind of have a nice relaxing. I just need to, with what's been going on with, you know, my family situation and all that, I just need some time to myself to, you know, just crawl or whatever, and I'll do my best to post up a video for you guys as best that I can. So please bear with me. Thank you so much for anyone who watches my videos, subscribes, likes, leaves me a comment. Please leave comments. You know, I love reading them. I love hearing what you guys are doing. If you guys have a project like this, or if you guys are doing a complete custom tube crawler, please let me know. I think that's badass. So, you know, I really love this hobby, but I hope, you know, I could shed some light on anyone who has a Traxxas TRX4 and is thinking about doing this setup. I would love to, you know, help them out maybe. And this maybe gives them a little bit more detailed information on what you may need to do to stick these tires on there. So, and there's different, these are the XLs. So, these are the big fatty 2.2s. They make a slightly smaller 2.2. Just saying, from my understanding. Now, I'm not saying everything I say is 100% accurate. You know, I'm not a human being. But, so anyway, not trying to ramble on. I'm just trying to share with you guys my current setup and what I'm doing. And it's a great truck. You know, even crawled amazing with the 1.9s. If you really want to crawl awesome, I strongly suggest, if you're one of those people that aren't sure what crawler tire to get, if you, let's say, I'm talking to the newbies here, the people that just maybe got their rock crawler, maybe just got started, this is their very first hobby grade, name brand RC car, and they just got started into it, and they're not sure what to do, or, you know, or the stock tires just ain't soft enough or grippy enough, whatever it may be, the Proline Hyrax with the stock foams that come with the Hyrax tires are an amazing tire, and you can get any B-lock you want. You know, my opinion, spend a little extra money when you get the rims for the 1.9s, if you want to do 1.9s or 2.2s, to get the rims that you like. Because I'll tell you right now, I got rims that I like the style, but they're black plastic. I don't like black plastic. I like chrome, like what's on the back. So, just know that, unless you're trying to save a couple bucks. And I know this hobby can get expensive. For me, it's really hard to walk out of a hobby shop without dropping $100. It really is, because I just love upgrading. I love tinkering with them. I love changing the setup. You know, I love just customizing them, making them unique to me. Something I can say I built, you know what I mean? So, I'm sure a lot of people are like that too. So, thank you again so much for watching my videos. Please comment, subscribe, like, whatever you feel necessary to do. I'll keep my videos coming. But yeah, just let me know, you know, what you guys are doing, you know, with your crawlers custom, or, you know, if you guys have a TRX4 and you may put 2.2s on there, maybe did a slightly different setup, please let me know. You know, I'll watch your guys' videos if, you know, I love doing that. So, alright, Alex RC Freak, out, peace.